start recording.
I want to make sure your record is preserved.
You're good. We're recording.
We're recording. We're not
Recording
live streaming. The internet just went down.
We're recording it now.
Maybe we don't want to be recorded. Oh.
Hope you didn't record that.
Oh, no, Mason, you would start. And we're live. We're not live, but we're recording on the record again. Thank you so much, Linda.
Okay, so wherever I left off, again, just a topic of discussion. Again, it revolves around, and the discussion as commission, I think we need to look at this. A government employee serving on the commission, bottom line. For myself, I don't see any issues. Because I believe that as veterans, we put that as our number one priority. And I would figure that if there was any undue political pressure, that at a minimum, a veteran would recuse himself or herself from participating in whatever matter at hand because of that. So that's kind of how I see it, but I just want to throw that out to the floor and just see if there's any other conclusions or concerns and see if we want to move on from there.
I'm just sort of made note, Brian.
Yeah, very valid point, and understand what you're saying, but that is up, and again, the commission, members of this commission, if the person in charge is doing political instead of by veterans, then it's up to this commission to remove that person from that spot. Until they're proven otherwise, I understand that it looks okay, well, he's here, well, no. Let the person speak for themselves. And if they are not doing what they're supposed to be, trust me, I will be the first one to say that.
I trust you will.
That's all I have to say on that.
Completely understand. That's going to be a discussion that we can have also once we convene again in April. And I understand, points and all that stuff. That's why for every meeting that I am a government employee, so when I attend these meetings, I have to sign leave in order to attend these meetings. Duly noted, that will be an agenda item as well.
This document as a matter of record.
Correct.
As well.
Appreciate it. Secretary has our copy as well.
Adjutant, as per the bylaws of this commission.
Correct. Active.
Okay, at this time again, for the third time, I request a motion for us to go ahead and proceed with the second round of nominations of officers.
So moved.
Motion by the U.S. Air Force, second by VFW, Mr. Alan Turner. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, all in favor, we will proceed. Okay, now we're going to open nomination for the chairman of the commission. Last time, the one that was nominated was Mr. Roy Gamboa. No other takers at this time. Nomination for chairman of the Veterans Commission. Any nominees? You can nominate yourself or nominate someone else.
I make a motion, we close the nominations for chairman and cast one unanimous vote for Roy Gamboa as chairman.
VFW Commander Brian Miranda request we close the nomination as chairman, the chairman nomination for the board. Cast one
Unanimous vote.
unanimous
Objection.
to be Roy Gamboa.
No, I'm objecting.
There's objection.
Okay.
I'm objecting to closing the nominations before we've had some discussions on it. That's all.
No.
Well,
there was, I did that because nobody made a nomination, so.
I understand. I fell asleep at the wheel.
So to move things along, let's do this how procedural. It's very fine to close nominations and cast one unanimous vote when you only have one candidate.
Well,
And then you're moving right along.
I understand, but I would also like the benefit of hearing from the person that's nominated as to how, what direction is he does he envision taking this commission? You know, if it's gonna be more of the same, whatever that was, then I don't know, I may have a problem with that. if it looks like we got new beginnings. So I would just like to hear from the nominee so that if I get questioned, well, why did you vote for that chairman? I can then say with conviction because I was convinced of the direction that he wants to take it. That's all I'm asking.
Members of the commission, I'm gonna put a hold on this. I might be wrong, but I think I'm not. The discussion, nomination, and any decision made within this body should be the members of the commission. Members only. And those are the members that were called on the roll call.
I am a member.
With what?
Am I not?
American Legion.
American Legion.
You pulled a fast one. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. So, we'll
I don't invite myself to people's parties.
we'll move on. We'll move on. You want to address that? Sure.
So there's a motion so there's a motion on the floor.
And a second.
The motion, there's an objection.
There's an objection.
There's a lot of opinions that I think we can go the way this commission has proceeded. I don't have anything prepared for everybody that's here in this room or whatever it may be. Knowing what's being presented out on the legislature versus what's already existing in the books, my mindset is, why are you gonna burn a house down when it needs minor repairs? Right? That's my opinion. It's a slap in the face to our lawmakers that put that law together to begin with in the first place. To just say, I'm just gonna scrap it. I recognize it as a pull for power. And when you have the majority of the veteran organizations represented here equally between all the branches and things like that, my request to at least the commission and the chairman and the vice chairman for the Veterans Commission was, if you're planning to give what they would relate to me was more teeth, more power for this commission, then turn us into a governing body. If that's what they're trying to do. At this point, we are merely an advisory council.
Exactly.
There is basically nothing that we can say either up or down. The Guam Office of Veterans Affairs, they take it on our, they may take our advice.
The
He does not have to
ability to
listen to
borrow
exactly what
funds
we say.
without the legislature.
Let's proceed on public agenda.
Understood. I hope that's enough, Mr. Ada. There's the suggestion or the letter that was brought up, there, it's very clear line between work and, you know, what all of us bring to this table, right? And what I said years and years ago was this commission had been defunct. No quorum. If there was quorum, there was nobody following the agenda. During COVID, we got together, Dr. McDermott from the CBOC and everybody. We came in here and at one point, somebody had challenged our organization, asking what we were doing here, what did we do? And our response at that time was, we don't have to be at this commission. We're busy helping our veterans, right? Because as it stands, we have no teeth. So my suggestion or my suggestion in a meeting with the vice, I guess the second, Senator Brown, basically was if your whole intent was to give this commission more teeth, more oomph, then adjust the laws. Don't burn down the house and then recreate something completely new. You tell this board, okay, we can review their budget, we can review certain things. Now, at that point, the only thing that was political in that position was trying to convince one person to make a change. Executive order is easier than convincing 15 different people, and that's gonna change every 2 years. So, I had already suggested to Mr. Jose Sanagasi, and this is not necessarily something that I asked for. This was asked of me to step up and step into this role, and as best as I can do it, I will proceed.
Point of order.
Yes, sir.
I believe we should follow the agenda.
Understood.
We are talking way off to the side of the
Understood.
agenda right now. These topics are very valid topics,
Understood.
and I'm very interested in those topics. This is not the forum that we do them under,
Call for the vote.
so there's.
Who's
and we're open
eligible
for
to
chairman
vote?
right now.
Okay.
Who's eligible to vote in here?
Well,
Tom doesn't know?
4,
She doesn't know?
6 of them.
So you're going to law
Enough,
school.
a quorum.
Okay, gentlemen, at this time, we'll go ahead and move for the second round of nomination for the first vice.
We have to vote.
Point of order. You need to vote on my motion.
So was there a second for your motion?
Yes.
Brian? It was seconded? Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna call for a vote.
So to unanimously just,
Who's second?
What, you make one unanimous vote for Roy Gamboa as chairman, and you're done with that. You move to the next one, and if you only have one nomination, you close it, do one vote, and move this meeting along.
okay, so the nomination for the chairman is closed.
At this time.
At this time, we have Mr. Roy Gamboa, who's the individual that has been nominated. One nomination for chairman.
Can I help you out?
Yeah, go ahead.
All those in favor of making one unanimous vote for Roy Gamboa as chairman, say aye.
I don't hear any objections, so.
Tonight.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Roy.
Thank you, Brian. Let me run it from here. Thank you. You just obviously have a better education than I do. Thank you.
No, I
Okay, at
would
this
ask
time,
you.
gentlemen, we'll go ahead and move into the second round of nominations for the first vice. From the last nomination, was Mr. Joe Yatar. Is there anybody else that wants to be first vice? Any nomination for first vice?
So Brian, you can go ahead again.
I make a motion, we close nomination for first vice and hold one unanimous vote for, I can't remember.
Joe Yatar.
I'm short sighted.
So at this time, Brian Miranda again is proposing that we close the nomination as first vice to one nominee, which is Mr. Joe Yatar.
I'll second the nomination.
Second by Mr.
Mr. Tim.
Tim Zahn. Nominations are, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Congratulations.
Motion passed. Congratulations. At this time, we're open the second nomination of officers for second vice. Last time it was Mr. Vince Santiago that was nominated as second vice. Any other nominees? Any other nominations for second vice? No nominations, Mr. Brian Miranda.
I make a motion, we close nominations for second vice and cast one unanimous vote.
At this time, Mr. Brian Miranda proposed we close the second nomination for second vice, which is Mr. Vince Santiago, second by Military Order of the Purple Heart. Those in favor? Okay. Nomination for second vice
Congratulations.
is closed, Mr. Vince Santiago. Congratulations. At this time, we second round of nomination for secretary.
Point of order, as per the bylaws, it is an adjutant, not a secretary.
That's done.
That's correct.
Adjutant.
Secretary, why don't you write on secretary here? Okay. Adjutant, Brian?
Yes.
Okay, at this time, the second round of nomination for the position as an adjutant. Last time it was Chris Duran that was nominated as the adjutant. This time the floor is open for nomination for adjutant. Any other nomination for adjutant?
Mr. Thomas. No, this time I'm looking in front of you, Mr. Prezan. Nominate Mr. Thomas.
He has to go around.
I decline.
Mr. Tamara nominated by 671. Mr. Tamara declined the position. Any other nomination for adjutant? Mr. Brian Miranda.
I make a motion, we close nomination for adjutant and cast one unanimous vote for Chris Turin as adjutant.
Brian Miranda, VFW,
No, just close, please.
close nomination for adjutant. Mr. Chris Duran nominated. Second by Mr. Vince Santiago. All those in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed. Congratulations, Mr. Chester
Thank you.
Adjutant. Okay, at this time, we open nomination, second round for treasurer. The position as a treasurer, last month, there was no takers. At this time, are there anyone interested in taking the position as a treasurer for the Guam Veterans Commission?
Or you might get voted though.
Nominate Joe Martinez.
Yeah, Joe said he's gonna do it. Okay, all in favor? Is it Joe? Yes.
Joe, did you, last time you were nominated as a treasurer, were you aware of that? Joe?
Yes, it will.
Yeah, he should.
Anybody else wants to be a treasurer?
He said he would think about it.
Okay, Brian, you wanna post it, Brian?
But nobody else knows how to make that motion. I make a motion, we close nominations for treasurer and cast one unanimous vote for Joe Martinez.
Okay, thank you, Brian. At this time, Mr. Brian Miranda, opposed. Second by Mr. Tim Pagano, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Mr. Joe Martinez, you are now the official treasurer for the Guam Veterans Commission.
Point of order. Just one point is, Mr. Miranda makes a motion. It's, post 29, VFW post 2917,
2917.
not the individual's name. We should make the organization.
Supposed.
Post
2917.
2917. Adjutant, make sure you're taking good notes, sir. Thank you. Okay, at this time, the nomination, second round nomination of officers
We did that, we did
is closed.
8, we did that, so we can go to public comments.
Close.
Move that right along.
No? No.
Motion.
Motion
You
to
can hand it
close.
back over to Roy.
Motion to close. We still have to do elections.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by, 3rd Marine Division. Second by Vietnam Veterans of America, 668. All those in favor for closing?
Aye.
Okay, we close the nominations of officers for the second round. Okay, gentlemen, at this time, we're gonna move into the elections of officers. I do have a ballot here for all the, oh no, we're done, right?
You're done. We already had them.
Guys, I'm sorry.
I gotta go.
Wow.
I'm gonna go.
At this time, I'm moving myself away from, I'm recusing myself from where I'm at. Second vice, first vice, you can take the position. I will move to the side. Congratulations, guys. Thank
Assume
you.
your duty as state director.
First vice?
Oh, you're talking.
I'm up and out the edge.
You're good, first. First vice?
I'm up and out the edge with the scooter.
That was that camera in the eye. That was very hard to get out.
This round.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen in the room, the next thing on the item here is we have 5 minutes for public comment, announcements. Mr. Solano. Thank you. Chris? Angel left?
I will take that announcement for him. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are in the room, supposedly, there is a movement that is taking place with regards to acknowledging America 250 here on Guam. America 250 is America 250 years later. Apparently, it appears that, because many of us are service members, not veterans, we have served. It appears that the veteran community, coming from me, I would like the veterans community to get really involved in how we can form to model the veterans. What does America 250 mean to us? And so that is supposedly going to be 4th of July 2026. I want us to just start thinking of what is it that we want to do to be part of this big finale that's happening. And I kind of thought that the veterans community probably will be the strong role model to be able to put something out there to showcase Guam and who we are, what we've been. And I think a lot of it might do, some of the benefits will be if you have kids or your grandpa was in the military, that they could tell a story that my grandpa was in the military, and now my papa's in the military, and now I'm in the military, and my son now is in the military, and that's why we love America. Okay, so we're gonna be having meetings here as we get closer to the possible event. But I just ask you all to kind of start brainstorming, looking at what programs and activities you would want to make happen. I know we're looking at 21 July to, 4th of July to do something big, but also 21 July, which is the Liberation Day. You know, possibly having as many veterans out there from different organizations in their uniform marching down the Route 1 there, supported by the older veterans, which is me, then our military, then our younger generation ROTC that are looking at joining the military because they're proud of what they do for America. So that's my input. I'm just asking y'all to start brainstorming inputs of what you want to see happen, what type of activities. I can tell you that I think we're anticipating that the convention in January is going to go. I don't know if it's a smart thing to merge something like that into the convention or make it simply another function aside from the convention. So you all as a committee, that's where I will ask for your input.
So you're saying you stated July 4th, 2026?
2026, yes.
Okay, so this is for next year, and I know Brian's stepped out of the room, but usually the VFW has
Yes.
their July 4th events
Correct.
every year, so.
Sorry. We could complement that, but we also could, get inputs from other organizations of what they want to see happen. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was gonna recommend that maybe a task force can be put together to prepare for that next year. This way, I mean, we can talk about it over the next, 6 to 8 months to develop that kind of a program. And I know since VFW almost always hosts it down at Epau Beach, maybe, coordinating something with the VFW and then we all support if it's a big party, and everybody in the commission contributes one way, shape or form. I think that's something we can do. We know in the month of July it's busy. July 4th is the big event, and then with the 21st, what happens after, there's Liberation Day. Sometimes we're at the parade, sometimes we're not all there. So for at least for veterans, there's 2 or 3 major holidays, of course, the Memorial Day, Veterans Day. Veterans Day, we go out there, we have the event, and then soon after, everybody just, parts ways and goes. So I think if we can have maybe a small little task force or a group, committee that can be put together.
Yeah, thanks for that. Just because it just popped in my mind, the closing date of that will be Veterans Day in November. Is when we're gonna bring it up. My 5 minutes, sure?
So.
Oh, so I get 5 minutes?
Go ahead.
Do I get 5 minutes? Okay.
Proceed.
All right. So can I be recognized? So because it's recorded, right?
Yeah.
So is someone gonna recognize me, or do I have to introduce myself, or how does this work?
You can introduce yourself.
Okay. So Karina Balesta, HMI. Next week we're having Year of the Veteran Count. The governor's proclaiming 2025 as Year of the Veteran Count. So Year of the Veteran Count / registry, because we all know no one knows the true number. The GOVA office is reporting 25,000. The Veterans Benefits Office is reporting 11,000. The Veteran Health Administration for Guam is reporting only 6,000. So all those numbers do not make sense. So next week, Friday, here at 11:30 a.m., the governor's proclaiming
What's the date, Friday?
April 4th.
Friday.
Friday, 11:30 a.m. is going to be proclaimed 2025 Year of the Veteran Count. The governor and Lieutenant Governor already said yes, so that is next week, 11:30 a.m. Everyone's invited. Second thing, Vietnam Veteran Day is on Saturday. I know there's gonna be an organization up in Anderson. The HMI will be at NEX, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., handing out Vietnam veteran lapel pins. So if everyone can attend, that would be amazing. And then I did have a question, because I still have 5 minutes. So the only position we were voting on was chairman. I know HMI hasn't been, approved into the commission. It's been 2 years, but it is public information that we turned our paperwork in last administration, then this administration. In August, you said that, Senator Augustine, you said that we would be added to the agenda. HMI, still not on the agenda. So I just wanted to know why we had to vote all of them when only Mr. Cundiff stepped down. I don't know if that's in the bylaws, Brian, do you know? So once one person stepped down?
They were due for be elected again.
For all positions?
Yes,
So it's a ripple effect then?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the tenures are for 2 years.
Yeah, but no one knows that. So everyone in this room made a decision on, no, I still have the floor.
Is
I
this
still have the
an
floor.
announcement or is this a?
No, I want it in public record because this is good, this is being,
We're just waiting
recorded.
for 5 minutes to end.
Yes, let's wait for 5 minutes to end. So everyone else got to talk, so my turn. So HMI has been trying for 2 years to get on this commission. Earlier, sir, you said that Tom Atta put a fast one. Well, you didn't say that when 3rd Marine Division also put a fast one. So I don't think that's fair to Mr. Atta. So I just wanted that to be part of the record. That's all. Thank you for my 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I just like to invite everybody here that can come tomorrow as Saturday. The Vietnam Veteran of America is hosting a flag raising ceremony at 8 o'clock at the Colban to celebrate National Vietnam War Veterans Day. We have a short ceremony, and I want to invite the commission to join us on this flag raising. Other trainers, ROTC, going to be doing the flag raising, and I know the Lieutenant Governor already confirmed that he's going to have a brief remark, and some senators and other stuff, not to prolong the ceremony. Hey, if we have time tomorrow, swing by the Coleman and join us celebrate the National Vietnam War Veterans Day that was declared for the 29th of March. Thank you.
Understood, sir. Thank you very much.
That's 0800 here. 08?
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock?
It is.
Yeah.
Hey.
Mr. Turner.
I'd just like to put a little clarification out on the veteran counts. I heard 3 different numbers, and those 3 numbers mean 3 different things. One, GOVA's count is the veterans, to the best of their knowledge, on Guam. CBOC's count is the number of veterans that are being cared for at CBOC. EBA's numbers are numbers that are veterans that are receiving benefits on Guam. So there's no conflict between the numbers, they just have different meanings. And I think we need to start talking about what the meaning is, not just the veterans account. Because all 3, I believe, are relatively accurate.
So can I reply to that comment, the reason why I brought it up?
No.
No?
It's okay. It's okay. Anybody else? Anything? If not,
Is your 5 minutes up? It is? 5 minutes.
I think that 5 minutes was supposed to be overall announcements.
Ideally, yes.
Huh?
5 minutes for everybody.
For everybody. Can I get my 30 seconds?
Status on HMI,
I would
next
just,
month.
I would just like, first of all, congratulations to the officers for having been duly elected and subject to ratification. But I would just like to proffer some recommendations of issues for agenda placement. I know you're going to have an executive committee that's going to sit down and do that, and basically I'll provide this to the chairman and to the adjutant. But I just have some items here which I think are burning issues. One is we got to ratify the organization's memberships and tenure of the delegates. Secondly, I was able to get a copy of the 2017 bylaws. I guess that's the bylaws that we're operating under. It was adopted in 2017. And it's a good set of bylaws, but it needs some tweaking because there's some things in there that are contrary or contradictory to the law. And some things that really needs to be reviewed closer. Like, for example, the executive board has full control of which organization sits as a member in this commission, right? And if the executive board denies the entry of an organization, the body here has nothing to say about it. I think that warrants being looked at. Secondly, I would hope that we can put on the agenda for discussion the activation of the bylaws Article 6 committees, especially in view of the fact that there's a lot of really issues that we need to get our arms around as soon as we can. Legislative committee, issues committee, it's all outlined in Article 6 of the bylaws. The fourth item is the commission really needs, I think, to start, especially the legislative committee, to start formulating position papers on legislation that's being proposed at the legislature right now. There's already 9 of them, and some of them are very significant. There's one establishing a minimum residency requirement for the tag. Now, I know that probably doesn't affect us here, but I think as a commission, we need to be taking a look at, maybe there's some 06s that's coming out that's ready to retire, but would opt to be. But the law that's being proposed is gonna require that individual have been a resident of Guam for 5 years. That's gonna knock out guys like David Santos, who's been assigned to Pentagon for 2 years, Kalina Nelson, right? So, it's just a tweaking of the terms that are used as opposed to residency, home of record. There's also, there's the elected veterans governing board, thing you were talking about. That's gonna burn the house down so we can build a new one. Whereas really, the law that we have right now, I think is pretty good. It just needs some tweaking. Right? There's a bill in there expanding options for assisted living facilities. I think many of the older veterans, that might be of interest, because if they're going to propose a living facility, assisted living facility, that's going to kind of make it harder for veterans to get in. That's something we should take a look at. There's a bill, veterans license plate design and recognition. Now, I would think something like that should come from the commission and not just some aggressive individual going into there and saying, this is how I would like to see the license plate. So these are issues that are right now on the front burner. I don't know when they're going to get scheduled for a public hearing, but we need to start thinking about it and formulate position papers. I just saw today we need for the commission to take a look at this newly passed by the House of Representatives, the Major Richards Star Act. It is to allow combat engineered veterans to receive full disability compensation and retired pay. That obviously is going to affect many of us, maybe even a lot of your memberships, Mr. Francisco. So we need to come to understand that. And I just got a couple more items left. The availability of fund balances. I know that $50,000 was appropriated for GOBA to conduct a convention. I understand you had indicated that I think you spent like $20,000. Is that $30,000 still available?
Yes.
And so I think the commission should take a look at that and see how we might best utilize that. I would like, maybe as a continuing item on the agenda is really the status of the $14 million cemetery expansion grant opportunity from the National Cemetery Association. Now, last week, I think there in the chat group, there was the GURA Deputy Director, Fernando Esteves, said that GURA has actually kind of like an open order, I guess, what do you call that, where,
Indefinite rebate or something?
huh?
Indefinite rebate?
There you go. For A&E services. Now, I don't know where DPW is with the RFP issued out, but if GURA can, get that out the door quicker, I think that's something that we should take a look at. And although the deadline is September of this year, I think we should just go, balls to the wall and let's try and meet that deadline. And finally, I think maybe a continuing item on the agenda is really the report on the veteran registry, which, it's in the law. I don't know, it's good that we got three numbers representing three different things. I didn't know that. GAO apparently didn't know that. So, this, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to leave with the executive board to possibly consider for placement on the agenda at the forthcoming meetings. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mr. Ed. Thank you very much. Mr. Brown?
Real quick, we got our chairs in place. We now know what the committees are supposed to be, who's in charge of them, and that's something for next month that we assign people, ask people. That's where you get your veterans involved and get your volunteers for your committee. To try to push us ahead, you can't. Let's let them do, because we have been lost forever till we finally said, oh, here's something that we can follow. Let's do that. The next meeting, we'll have our committees. They'll know what direction they need to go from this commission, not by individuals. It'll come from the commission.
So, sir, I preface my statement, my remarks, by saying that these were recommended issues.
I'm not saying you were.
Understood. So, gentlemen, before we go, thank you and congratulations for everybody getting to this point. It's been a long time coming. In a private discussion, we talked about the requirements of advertising and all that stuff. Currently we don't handle any funding or anything like that. We are merely an advisory board. I'm gonna see if we can be recused from that requirement of publicly announcing it. As long as we do have public announcement in some way, shape, or form. In the past, we were able to do it digitally on the Facebook page, on the governor's page, or, we can advertise it on the legislative page, whatever it may be. Only because sometimes there could be a hindrance with the procurement process. So that's one thing we wanted to throw out there. Mr. Ada has brought up a lot of good points. It's been a minute since we've been able to each report out on what each group and each organization has been doing. Every now and again, we get tidbits of this is going on, that's going on. In previous meetings, we've been able to call on every single commission member. They can report out what they were doing. Committees will be established, or at least by the next meeting, we'll put it on the agenda to create those subcommittees. We can review the bylaws, and appreciate that. We review the bylaws to update it, to get it to the point where what I'd like to see is over the next few months, everything is organized, everything is ready. The legislative committee can come back and say, here's how we'd like to change, and potentially at that point, if we all agree we prefer to be a governing body, then we send it up the chain, or send it down to the legislature and say, hey, give us a little bit more control so we have better insight with what's going on down at GOVA and all the other things that affect veterans as a whole. This commission has seen its good days and its bad days, right? But what I liked and what I saw during coming out of COVID was we had meetings consecutive every single month. Everybody was reporting out, and then the little hiccup came out with, hey, we gotta pay for advertisement, and that took a real big 90-degree turn and just went off the tracks. So as we regroup, we put everything back together, we can fine tune everything that's there. I know in the past, we were having these meetings roughly for an hour, whatever it may be, but since we're in the process of rebuilding, retweaking, making things a lot better, I'm gonna say anticipate hour and a half, possibly. I will try to keep it short to the point, whatever it may be, but nothing more than an hour and a half. You know, your time is precious. Know that this is the struggle that we're gonna have to deal with for a couple of months. And then when we can get back to just reporting out, I think that's when we'll be back into a good rhythm, good flow. And then, you know, the community, the elected officials will know and understand that we have a unified voice, which probably this commission hadn't had forever. So I appreciate all the income that's coming from all sides. We want to make sure that we're functional, and then we can pick up the business, and instead of being reactive in many instances, we start to become, you know, proactive and start looking, you know, ahead down the line. At this point, I'll share with everybody that it's been decided 25th April 2025, 1500. We'll meet here, same time, same place. And I open to a motion for the adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Discussion.
Discussion, stand by, discussion, sir.
We're talking about bylaws. 2917 bylaws. I have never seen them, so how do I know what the bylaws say?
They're right here if you want them.
Yeah, I'd like to see that
I don't
every
need 'em
commission
anymore.
member has a copy of it. So we know what we're doing.
All you do is ask me,
I
Alan.
passed out some copies out there last week, or last month, I passed out some copies, I have additional copies here, for anyone that didn't get one, and this is just
Apparently I
a rough
didn't.
draft.
No, Chris, he's talking about the 2017
How
bylaw,
about the 2017?
not the Tim who's on bylaws.
Does anybody else have?
How many commission bylaws do we have? How many bylaws do we have?
This is
The one that they
Drafted and proposed, that's all.
Okay, no more discussion.
Yes, that's what, yeah.
Thank you.
That's what.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, can I have no private discussion?
Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
Because we couldn't find that.
You'll be in there.
Oh, yeah. So I've been there.
Tim, have you seen the 2017 bylaws?
Yeah, you should be doing the
You want a copy?
Sometime, does it post?
It's a list of email. A lot of similarities, a lot, so I think.
Push it out, you gotta sign it.
Another option is.
You guys can email for everybody.
Some good stuff that's not in there. There's some, I mean, we need a bylaw committee that Tom's talking about. Let's activate it.
Tom, the 2017 bylaws, are they the official bylaws?
I don't know, on the front it says adopted,
So,
2017. It's more on the,
I haven't seen that.
well, I didn't see it either,
so I didn't see anything that was signed or approved.
Oh, that one wasn't signed. It just said adopted.
I don't know, so you just get those, you said it the first time, you keep saying it again.
I think that's the first thing we gotta get, is to get the right label. Then a lot of this other stuff will go away.
So I'm just telling you,
Oh, it's not your
You're bringing it
it's an organization that entered into. No, I mean, he has now, because I have to. I have to.
Yeah, I understand.
No,
Doesn't matter.
it's not you, it's how.
Once again.
That's for the next.
No, it's not you. It's not you or the
Whatever you do. But you usually stop.
Okay, I'll just say organization.
I've asked the members for the all.
I haven't set up the total.
There was a good flow of information back in. And so when, of course, when your engine is moving off the road and then you suddenly turn and everything is down. You're like, oh, Lord, how am I
I asked, some of our senior managers.
Is this your pen, Chris?
Why don't I, you hang there,
Wrong goddamn answer. It's not what I could afford. How many should I have?
That's why I have everybody. So I'm like, okay,
And
well.
what I found also,
I'm gonna make
How was it? It's been done in the past.
Share, yeah, I'll go ahead and talk.
take that into your.
I'll get it to you next month. I'll get it to you next month.
Well, I don't know, it seems like they're always busy, like,
You have all members of the VFW.
Whether it's public knowledge or
They are ready.
not, maybe it's.
So I had taken that. We're observers here. So either one.
You're better with people. You're better with people. I already know I'm gonna volunteer you to be there for the next research committee and all that.
I haven't read the definition.
Where in the past, the issue was good, right? Because when we were flowing, it was right, it was good.
Well,
Every other organization.
They're like a,
We had very little.
there's something. Observe.
And, okay, what's gonna be the end result of this?
And they do that, amazing.
That's where.
Fifty and nine.
If that's what you want to do.
Organized parties. That's what.
flip side of that.
I mean, they'll show me here, whatever the spouse even already. Oh, in fact,